Hi, do you want to know how to speed up your WordPress website? In this video, I'll show you how I took my website from taking 2.9 seconds to load to taking it to 1.6 seconds to load. That's almost cutting the speed by half. And before we get started, my name is Hisham with WPCreated.com, and in this YouTube channel I release a lot of awesome WordPress videos, so be sure to subscribe. Anyway, let's go back to the video. So the one change that I made in order to improve my website speed dramatically was to add a caching plugin. And one of the best caching plugins out there is called W3 Total Cache. So all you gotta do is just go to your WordPress dashboard and then click on plugins and then add new and then just search for W3 Total Cache. I'll provide a link to this plugin under this video. Alright, so once you install it, you'll have an option right here on the left pane called Performance. And under Performance, there are actually quite a few options. So just click on the General Settings options. And in here, you'll see a lot of awesome things that you can configure in order to make your website load super fast. The good thing about W3 Total Cache is it makes it very easy for you to configure all of these settings. All you gotta do is just read through them. They give you a lot of descriptions of what all of these settings do, and you just decide on whether you want that change or not. But in general, if you're not familiar with caching plugins or caching in general, what it does is it creates like a snapshot or like a screenshot of your website, and whenever a website visitor comes to your website, it just displays that snapshot. Normally what WordPress does is every time somebody comes to your website, it fetches the data of your website. We're talking about like the text, the themes, the images and everything. It loads all of that from the database. So every time somebody comes to your website, it goes to your database and then it loads everything and then displays it to your visitor. And that is not very efficient, and that's why it takes a long time for your visitor to see the page, because it does a lot of stuff back and forth until it creates that page for you. But what caching plugins do is it creates a screenshot of your website, and then every time a visitor goes, it just shows them that snapshot or that screenshot, and it does not need to go back to the database every time in order to show that website. So that's why caching plugins are very important, and they speed up website speeds very fast. Alright, so all you gotta do is just go through all of these different settings, such as right here we have page cache. Just make sure you enable it. And before I get into all of these different settings, the first setting right here is actually very important when talking about preview mode. So sometimes caching plugins can kind of like, since they do a lot of stuff to the way your website loads, sometimes your website can load a little bit differently, especially depending on what theme you're using or all that kind of stuff. So if you want to make sure that this caching plugin will not mess up the way your website looks, they have this preview mode. So if you enable the preview mode, it's going to make sure that you can kind of like display or see how your website looks before full-on enabling caching. So if your website starts looking wonky or whatnot after enabling the caching, you can easily just stop the caching and then fix your website and then go back to re-enable the caching later. This is actually very neat, because sometimes people install a caching plugin and then after a while their website does not look the same, and it's not very easy for them to kind of know what effects the caching plugin is going to have on their website until later on. This plugin enables you to do that before you fully commit to using this caching plugin. So that's pretty cool. So you just enable preview mode, and then you come here and then enable all of these different settings. When it comes to minify, just enable. And the good thing is that this plugin makes it very easy for you to choose the correct settings, because it has very good documentation. If you don't understand anything right here, it has kind of like tool tips that will explain a little bit more. And yeah, all of this stuff, just go through all of these settings and then enable whichever ones you want. And then once you're done, just click on save all, and then you can go to your website and display your website. Let's just refresh this and then see if anything looks different. So right now, Yeah, everything looks the same for me. I see all the images, all the layout is looking the same, so that's good. And if everything looks good, you just go back to your settings, and then actually it's right here. Yeah, go back to your settings, and then just click on deploy, and that will deploy all the changes that you made to your caching plugin. And the next time your visitors go, they're gonna start seeing the cached version instead of the normal WordPress generated version. So that's good. And another really important thing to know is, since the caching, what it does is it creates like a snapshot at a specific time. So let's say you have a blog post. Let me just go to just any blog post like this one right here, and then I'll just edit that blog post, and I'll just add like a few extra stuff right here up here in the top, you know, that first line, just like that. And then once you click on update, and sometimes since the cached version is the first version that gets shown, your new changes might not appear. So your visitor might go, let me just open a new tab right here and go to that specific blog post. Alright, so that was like my second post. Yes, sometimes the changes will not appear automatically. Here it shows like the changes have appeared, but sometimes the changes do not appear immediately. And if that happens, all you got to do is come to performance and then purge all cache, or purge let's preview this page right here, this post, and then up top here you see performance. You can either purge all cache or purge current page. So that will do, it will delete the cache for the whole website or for that specific page, and the next time a visitor goes and visits that page, it will create a new cache instead of displaying the old cache. And that will make sure that every time your visitor goes to see your website, they'll get the latest content and not the outdated cache. That's another thing to pay attention to when using caching plugins in general. But yeah, the caching plugin, that's the only thing I changed, and I got like a dramatic improvement from taking 2.9 seconds to load to taking 1.6 seconds to load. So this is really neat. And if you need any help with anything I said in this video, if it did not make sense or whatever, please make sure to leave a comment under this video, and I'll be sure to answer you as best as I can. And I also have a lot of awesome videos related to WordPress, how to create your WordPress website and how to optimize it in different ways, security and whatnot. So be sure to check out my other videos. And if you have any specific questions or recommendations of what video you would like me to create, please leave a comment and I'll do that for you without a problem. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.